Hey Garden Fam! Welcome back to The Sprout. Today we're talking about one of the toughest, most beautiful, and most underrated perennials in the garden, yarrow. You might know it as Achillea, or by its common name, milfoil, and it's a plant that truly has it all. Yarrow is a native wildflower that has been growing in meadows and grasslands for centuries. It's incredibly hardy, drought-tolerant, and blooms for months on end. It's a magnet for pollinators, attracting bees, butterflies, and other beneficial insects. It's also a great cut flower, both fresh and dried. And the best part? It's almost impossible to kill. In this video, I'll teach you everything you need to know: the different types of yarrow, how to plant, water, and fertilize, how to prune and deadhead for continuous blooms, how to propagate, and how to deal with common problems. Let's get into it. Before we dive in, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. We put out new gardening videos every week, and I don't want you to miss the next one. Also, drop a comment below. Do you grow yarrow? What's your favorite variety? I'd love to hear about it. Now let's get into it. First, let's talk about what makes yarrow so special. Yarrow is a member of the daisy family, Asteraceae, and its botanical name is Achillea millefolium. The name Achillea comes from the Greek hero Achilles, who supposedly used the plant to treat his soldiers' wounds. Millefolium means thousand-leaved, referring to its finely divided, fern-like foliage. It's a truly ancient plant with a rich history of medicinal use. Yarrow is a clump-forming perennial that spreads by underground rhizomes. It typically grows 1 to 3 feet tall, depending on the variety, and produces flat-topped clusters of small daisy-like flowers from early summer to late autumn. The flowers come in a range of colors, including white, pink-tinged, red, yellow, and orange. It's hardy in USDA zones 3 through 9, making it suitable for most climates. Now let's talk about different types. There are many species and cultivars of yarrow, each with its own unique characteristics. The most common is Achillea millefolium, the common yarrow, which has white, pink-tinged flowers and is native to Europe and Asia. But there are also many beautiful cultivars. Cerise queen has bright pink flowers. Paprika has red flowers with yellow centers that fade to orange. Moonshine has lemon yellow flowers and silvery gray foliage. Cloth of Gold has bright yellow flowers. And the Pearl has pure white double flowers that are excellent for cutting. Coronation Gold has golden yellow flowers and grows up to 3 feet tall. And Terracotta has flowers that start out orange and fade to yellow and cream. So there's a yarrow for almost every garden. Now let's start with sun requirements. Yarrow needs full sun to produce its best blooms and stay compact. It needs at least 6 hours of direct sunlight every day. In too much shade, it will become leggy, flop over, and produce fewer flowers. In very hot climates, a little afternoon shade is okay, but morning sun is essential. Now let's talk about soil. Yarrow is incredibly adaptable. It thrives in poor, dry to medium, well-drained soil. It can even grow in heavy clay soil as long as it's not waterlogged. Yarrow does not like wet feet. Good drainage is essential to prevent root rot. It also tolerates a wide pH range, from acidic to alkaline. In fact, yarrow does best in soil that is not too rich. Too much organic matter or fertilizer can make the plants floppy. Now let's talk about planting. The best time to plant yarrow is in spring, after the last frost. You can also plant in autumn. Dig a hole twice as wide as the root ball. Place the plant at the same depth it was growing in its pot. Backfill with soil, water thoroughly, and mulch. Space plants according to their mature size. Smaller varieties need about 12 to 18 inches between plants. Taller varieties need 18 to 24 inches. Now let's talk about watering. Yarrow is extremely drought-tolerant once established. Water regularly during the first year to help the roots establish. After that, you only need to water during extended dry periods. In fact, overwatering is more of a problem than underwatering. Yarrow thrives in dry conditions. Now let's talk about fertilizing. Yarrow does not need much fertilizer. In fact, too much fertilizer, especially too much nitrogen, will give you lots of leaves and fewer flowers. If your soil is poor, you can add a little compost at planting time. That's usually enough. Do not over-fertilize. Now let's talk about pruning and deadheading. This is the secret to keeping yarrow blooming for months. Deadheading is the most important task. Removing spent flowers encourages the plant to produce more blooms instead of going to seed. Cut the flower stem back to a leaf node or to the base of the plant when the flowers start to fade. You can also shear the whole plant back by about 1/3 after the first flush of blooms. This often produces a second flush of flowers later in the season. In late autumn, after the flowering season is over, you can cut the stems back to the ground, or you can leave the seed heads standing over winter to provide interest and food for birds. In early spring, before new growth appears, cut them back. Now let's talk about dividing. Yarrow can spread aggressively by rhizomes and self-seeding. To keep it in bounds and to rejuvenate the plant, divide it every 2 to 3 years. The best time to divide is in early spring, just as new growth appears, or early autumn. Dig up the entire clump. Use a sharp spade to cut it into sections. Each section should have roots and shoots. Replant the divisions immediately and water well. Now let's talk about common problems. Let's go through them one by one. Problem 1, powdery mildew. This is a common fungal disease that appears as a white powder on the leaves. It's caused by high humidity and poor air circulation. Space plants properly. Water at the base, not overhead. Remove affected leaves. Yarrow is generally resistant, but it can get it. Problem 2, rust. This is a fungal disease that causes rust-colored spots on the leaves. Remove affected leaves, improve air circulation, avoid overhead watering. Problem 3, aphids. These small insects cluster on new growth and flower buds. Spray them off with water or use insecticidal soap. Problem 4, spider mites. These tiny pests cause stippled, dusty-looking leaves and fine webbing. They love hot, dry conditions. Increase humidity around the plant. Use neem oil or insecticidal soap. Problem 5, mealybugs. These small insects leave behind a white powder on the branches and leaves. They extract sap from the leaves, which results in poor growth. You can get rid of them by washing them off the surface using water or by encouraging the presence of predatory insects, such as wasps and ladybirds. Problem 6, flocking stems. Too much shade, too much fertilizer, or the plant needs staking. Move to a sunnier spot, stop fertilizing, use plant supports. Here's where you come in. Drop a comment below. Do you grow yarrow? What's your favorite variety? I'd love to know. Now let's talk about yarrow in the landscape. Yarrow is incredibly versatile. Plant it in borders, beds, cottage gardens, and wildflower meadows. It looks stunning in mass plantings. It mixes beautifully with other sun lovers like coneflowers, black-eyed Susans, lavender, salvia, and ornamental grasses. It's also great for coastal gardens and gravel gardens. It's a fantastic plant for attracting pollinators, including bees and butterflies. Now, let's talk about yarrow as a cut flower. Yarrow is excellent for cutting and drying. Cut the stems when the flowers are just opening. Remove the lower leaves. Place them in water immediately. They'll last about a week in a vase. For dried arrangements, hang the stems upside down in a dark, dry place. Let me give you a few quick answers to common questions. Is yarrow a perennial? Yes, it comes back every year. How long does it live? Several years, but dividing it helps. When does it bloom? From early summer to late autumn. How tall does it get? 1 to 3 feet, depending on the variety. Does it need full sun? Yes, at least 6 hours daily. Is yarrow deer resistant? Yes, deer generally leave it alone. Can I grow yarrow in a container? Yes, but choose a compact variety and use a large pot. Let's wrap everything up. Yarrow is one of the toughest and most rewarding perennials you can grow. Give it full sun, plant it in well-draining soil, water during the first year, then only during dry spells, don't over-fertilize, deadhead for continuous blooms, divide every 2 to 3 years, watch for powdery mildew and aphids. Here's the most important thing to remember. Yarrow is a plant that thrives on neglect. It's a native wildflower that has been growing in meadows and grasslands for centuries without any help from us. It doesn't need perfect soil, constant water, or fancy fertilizer. Give it sun, water it for the first year, and then let it do its thing. It will reward you with months of color, happy pollinators, and a garden that practically takes care of itself. Before you go, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and leave me a comment. Are you planting yarrow this year? What variety? I'd love to know. Also, what plant should I cover next? Lavender? Catmint? Peony? Let me know. Thanks for watching. Take care of your garden, and it will take care of you. See you in the next video.